face to face in this trashy bar.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again today. I so much enjoyed the last video creating or recreating a photo that I had done 30 years ago on film and shooting it digitally in the studio and recreating the same looking shot and comparing the two different ways that I did things. That was a fun project for me, so I think I'm going to do it again. I've got a little bit of a twist on this one. I'll kind of show you as we go. But again, if you didn't watch the last video, I talked about how I had found some old notes and some old Polaroids that I had kept from years and years ago. It just kind of gave me the idea to recreate or reshoot those same images again. Well, the shot that I want to do today is kind of based around an image that kind of had a little bit of fame at the Ohio Institute of Photography, because it's a photograph that I took that my good friend Mark Seelig used for some of his Photoshop classes. Now what he did with my photograph was he messed it all up, scratched it, tore it apart, and then the students had to fix all of that, do all the retouching and the restoration in Photoshop. And it was not an easy shot to do it with. There was a lot of busyness and craziness, and it was just a difficult project. So I think it was kind of a love-hate thing. But I happened to find my notes. Well, let me show you the Polaroid, because once again, unfortunately, I can't find the color version, but here is the original Polaroid of the pennies shot that got so much fame and notoriety at OIP&T. If you were a student probably from 2002, 2001, somewhere till probably when the program ended, you probably know this photograph. But here is my original sketch and how I wanted to light it, how I wanted to shoot it, the original vision. I'm sure it was a stock photography idea that I had. I actually have right down here my little diagram for how I was gonna light it. Yeah, so there it is. So that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, so two things are gonna be a little bit different than the last video that I did, because the last video I tried to create the shot exactly like I did on film, but implement the advantages of shooting it digitally. There's nothing about this photograph that Photoshop or digital is gonna make all that much simpler. This is just a straightforward shot. So I'm not gonna worry about contrasting film to digital. I'm just gonna recreate a shot similar to this. I'm not gonna try to do it exactly, because one thing, I don't have those same scissors. When I did that shot before, I went out and purchased the scissors specifically for that shot from a fabric store. They were super nice, they were expensive, and when I was done with them, I took them back. But I do have a pair of scissors that are similar, a lot more character. These are old and beat up and scratched, but that's fine, they'll work. The other thing is I don't have near as many pennies. That's all the pennies I have. So I really don't have enough pennies to copy the shot exactly, but I'm gonna do something very similar. I'm gonna do it in the studio. We're gonna do studio lights and make something probably a little more artistic than commercial. It's kind of my vision. But the other thing that I wanna do a little differently today is I wanna challenge all of you who are watching to make your own version of this photograph, especially if you were from OIP&T in those years that Mark and I were teaching. Doesn't have to be exactly like this. It can be your own version of it. And if you don't have any pennies because you've cashed in all your pennies for that last roll of toilet paper, then, use buttons or, do whatever. But my challenge to you is to create an image kind of in memory of those days that we were there together, kind of in honor of that Photoshop project. I'm gonna do mine for the rest of this video. I'll show you the end results. It's gonna be super cool, and I'm looking forward to having a little bit of fun with this. I will post this somewhere on Facebook or Instagram or something to let all of you guys know. I would appreciate it if you share it with all your other OIP friends, and hopefully we can make some rounds with this and share our photos, and hopefully you guys, well, I'm thinking everybody has a little bit of time these days to maybe need a project or two to keep some sanity. So I'm gonna head into the studio. I'm gonna take my version of this shot. I will show you my process of kind of doing it, and I will show you the end results at the end of the video.
Oh, here you are, face to face in this trashy bar.
Okay, my lighting setup is pretty simple. 200mm lens on my OIP&T studio stand. One medium-sized softbox over here. I've got a fill card on the right side adding to some highlights on the shadow side. And if I come in here right where the camera would view from, looks kind of like that. Let's take a final photograph here. Okay guys, let me show you where I'm at as I'm shooting this. If you notice on the latest version here, there are some shiny pennies that are, you know, they just draw your eye right to them. So I have pulled those shinier pennies out that are catching that reflection and meticulously kind of moved all the pennies to more aesthetically pleasing places. Alright guys, so there's my shot. Little disclaimer, I didn't show this on the video, but I ended up taking the fill card out. I added a little mirror to give some more specular reflections. I thought the fill card ended up just being too much. I like a little more shadowy, higher contrast ratio. And so that's what I ended up going with. The other thing, I didn't put a dollar bill in there. I just got going, liked it the way it was, so I didn't do that. Feel free to do something in there if you want. Like I said before, this is your version of it, but I challenge you to do something. The other thing with mine, the more I thought about it, I might do mine in black and white. I'll probably do both. I'll probably show you both color and black and white versions. But I thought it turned out kind of fun. It's kind of neat. A little reminiscing from our days in Mark Sela's Photoshop class. And leave me a comment. Find me on Instagram. Somehow tag me, notify me, somehow, maybe on the OIPNT Facebook page. I think I might have mentioned that. Somehow we will post these so everybody can see them, and I hope you guys join along and take the challenge. It'll be good to see everybody's work and give you something to do while you're stuck at home. And I will see you guys in the next video. Like this one, subscribe, leave me comments. Love to hear from all of you guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Wanna go? I am all about adventure times. Another drink and I'll go anywhere.